Happy Sunday. It's the last day and last trading week of November. By tomorrow, I think we'll be in a new month, correct? So that's why we have to talk about performance and progress because, um, I'm a lot more active these days on Threads because I feel like it reminds me of the good old days of Twitter when it was just like thoughts. And I'm also noticing that Threads kind of likes me. I do get some views and traction and responses and engagement. Uh, you know, and I try to kind of diversify the topics a little bit. The reason I'm bringing this up is I said something and it was along the lines of once you start to trade a full year, you really want to focus on how your performance has been for the year because just like I had written it, businesses have bad weeks sometimes. Businesses can have bad months, maybe 4 out of the 8 months. It wasn't too bad, but it wasn't too good. But like things picked up by the seasons, the holiday seasons, or certain companies do better in the fourth quarter, and they know that, right? So just like a trader is an entrepreneur, a businessman, and you are literally your own company. You are your own performer. You're trading for your own firm, essentially. The firm is the family, the funds that you bring home. And I know y'all might blow a few accounts here and there. I know sometimes uh you were shy of a payout, something happened, but overall for the year, how many payouts did you get? Overall for the year, how many withdrawals did you make? Because these are the realized gains that we can say, all right, you know what? This year was rough, but hey, I, I pulled out 3 bands though, or hey, I made 10 grand from the prop firm. That is the statement that you'll have to really make peace with whether you did make some profit, whether you got to keep the profit, and whatever happens in between is just experience and expenses. I like that. I ain't write that one, but that was good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Experience and expenses. That's all it is. So instead of just worrying about like a week by week performance, which all contributes to the 52-week period, I mean, you shouldn't really be trading 52 weeks. That's also why I'm so against the whole $200 a day is 50K. Like who's trading every day? It's not even sometimes we don't even have good days. This year there was several weird days where we had to sit on our hands, you know? So this is why it all contributes to what did we overall produce for the year. There's 4 weeks left out of the year. Shit. 4 or 5 weeks left out of the year. And what have we done? Have we blown more accounts? Have we improved from the previous year? And how can we tell whether we improved if we didn't make as many withdrawals as possible? Right? Because in the business that we're in is going to involve losses, is going to involve mishaps, hiccups. Okay. So that's why I want y'all to be thinking as the year is about to end. So since today is the last day of the month, how was November for you guys? Good, bad, profitable, break even, starting over? Where are you at? Where are you at? This is a question to everybody. Feel free to respond in the chat. I like to engage with y'all because uh, it's a lot more. It's a lot more. What's the word? It's better for me to get something out of this webinar when we're all just like contributing our thoughts, right? So what was November for y'all? Profitable, break even, overall loss. What is it? What is it?
For me, like, the first, weeks of November was pretty much rough, but I think, I kind of ended up good, get some payouts and stuff, and personal account is growing. So I think it's been a good month.
Okay. Bro, I always forget it's you. What's one top now, man? What is that?
I just changed, since we get hacked and stuff, I just change it to whatever.
Nah, it's probably not why you got hacked, bro. I really do want what happened? What happened last week?
I don't know. Because I logged in with my computer first, then I went outside for like a walk, try to get some fresh air and stuff. Then I logged in with my phone, then 2 minutes later I was like, what the hell is going on anyway? So I don't know. Couldn't even figure it out. So like I have to even reset my phone to factory setting and stuff.
Interesting. Yeah, that took us for a spin. They started writing a whole bunch of Russian writings, and then my Zoom was frozen, and then I had to just close out on my phone. It was kind of crazy. So yeah, I'll be careful what sites I'll be on, even if it's Timu. All right. Be careful. Be careful. Um, that's good to know that you had a pretty okay November, bro. This is good. Latrice said start off good, now starting over. Ain't gonna lie, I started out good and now starting back over. I'm working on some things in my personal life, so I'm not fully connected like I should be. I know how that feels. I know how that feels. Did I ever tell y'all that one time I blew my account because I just finished having a major argument with my girl? At the time, she was my girl. And it's like I wanted to use that same rage. And it's like it was not a good day for US 30 because it was acting up and I'm like, oh, you too? I blacked out that day. So I know how it feels to just be dealing with some things on the personal side. And that's why I say, like, whatever it be, whatever profit it be, it just feels good to make some withdrawals. Cause like if you know yourself, you know you're prone to blow an account. Like maybe if the market conditions aren't too good, you're gonna keep trying, and that's your Achilles. Take advantage of the good times, the good conditions, and withdraw. One of my biggest weak points that I had to make peace with this year when I didn't expect the choppiness. You know how like the candle's doing well, is going well, and then all of a sudden the candle turns into a wick, and I'm hopeful that it's going to continue, and then it starts to change and dance, and then I'm stuck in this cycle, and I try to add another position or something, or I make more than one or two attempts at re-entry. I'm like, okay, now the market's good. Then I lose, so I get a little annoyed because why is it being like that? Why is it being sporadic? Why did we lose volume all of a sudden? These type of things still kind of tick me off a little bit, but now I'm like, oh, you got me. You triggered me. And then I peep that and I walk away. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. Let me close the loss that's where it's at now because this is usually where I tilt. That itself stopped me from tilting. Uh, and I completely stopped trading news. I'll show up an hour or two after on some nonchalant energy. I'm like, okay, hey, this ain't looking too good. Or let me check in around 11:30, 12, see how we looking. And if I can't see nothing, and if it already ran too far, that's not a trading day for me. Why? It's because I'm glad we started this webinar today talking about family and holidays. And one thing I realize is this. We're all we got, right? Sometimes we're falling out with people we thought we was like this with, or family we thought we was close with. And trading has kind of put us in a mental environment where If you can't even sleep good at night because of so many mistakes that you're doing, as you are also trying to like break generational curses, it's very hard to continue trading. You're like, golly, I can't even trust myself. I can't even rely on me. I, oh, maybe they were right. Or they don't even know I'm doing this for them. Da, 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 da. And so when you start to make those self-sabotaging mistakes, it's really tough on the one person that you can depend on. And now you starting to doubt whether you can depend on you. Am I on point here?
Yep.
You might think you were the only one going through this, or Hans has it all figured out. Mr. 20K this month. Da, 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 da. But for real, guys, it's because many times I had to choose me, save me from me, and believe in me still. Even if I'm fucking up, I'm like, golly, Hans, you know, I'ma still need you, right? That's why I slowed down on like beating myself up so much. I'm like, bro, if I beat myself too much, if I beat myself down to a pulp, who's going to help me continue? Yeah, let me slow down. Hey, bro, it's okay. You fucked up. I forgive you, bro. I need you. I can't crush you too much. So that's the part where I'm like, just like Celine just said, boy, you better snap out of it. I love you anyway. You as fuck up as you can be. I love you, bro. We got a road ahead to continue. Nobody loves us. Nobody got us like we got us. And so if you're gonna make certain mistakes, and I'm gonna have to embrace you still, but since we love ourselves, we're gonna have to love ourselves a little better. Okay? We're not gonna blow that account. We're not gonna go back and forth. Let's be the bigger person with this account. We kill shit when these conditions are here. If I don't get it, I'll spend days just watching and observing the market. I'll even heal myself by having a session and I'm like, okay, this is what they did. This is what they did. Let me screenshot. Let me screenshot. I'm noticing a pattern here. I'm noticing a behavior here. I'm noticing that I could have done better here by just lowering my risk. Okay. Yeah. Last time I kept from entering is because I'm like, I don't see my best entry, but if I'm in here 2 hours from here, it's gonna continue. So let me use lower positions and allow it time to continue. So stuff like that, just learning to deal with me is how I'm able to just survive and sustain the months and the year on a bigger perspective, like taking a step out just so I can finish the year. Cause I ain't gonna hold y'all. July, I was like, hmm, yeah, I don't know. I'm falling out of love with this trading thing. Yeah, I'm feeling burnt out, but this is my only source of income. I'm like, them bills keep coming. Wifey not working. I'm the only breadwinner. I gotta produce. I want to take a break, but I can't. So I know how it feels sometimes. Like y'all pushing, y'all feel the weight of everything, the burden of everything, but you can't go back to something you promised yourself you wouldn't go back to. And to be honest, guys, I will say this too. If you feel like you've lost a lot of capital, even if you were to go back to a job, understand this is not the same you from 2, 3 years ago. You now have exit strategies in your mind. You know what to do with money. Just don't do what you did last time. Risk a little bit less. Extend the week a little bit more. Skip a few days. Even if you saw the setup, if you don't feel right, skip that day. All right. And just like I said in the last webinar, you might decide to want to skip a day, but if you see the setup and you knew you said you wasn't gonna trade, But as long as the condition made sense, still consider using less risk than you usually do. So that way it doesn't add insult to injury, right? You're like, damn, I knew I said I was going to trade it in. Now the market fucked me up and now I'm mad. But let's say you did trade the setup that you saw because you didn't intentionally want to trade today, but you saw your setup and it happened very late. So to avoid being like overexposed and upset, you won't be as upset if you lost not that much. You get me? Little conversations like that definitely goes a long way. Everybody claps for you when you made the draft, but then you got a long-standing career as a player and wing championship. I'm thinking about wings, aren't I? I'm definitely gonna get some wings after that. But uh thinking about championship rings, thinking about longevity, thinking about injuries, you thinking about the mental setbacks that you go through. Those are the things that are not talked about if you're looking for them online. Everyone's going to show you how they had a great month, a great week. But y'all see that I take my time to speak to y'all when we're on these webinars more about the mindset of being the trader, the emotions, how to counter them, how to control yourself, because we're never going to be emotionless, but we can have less emotions in it. Okay. So I know you guys probably have gotten beaten up by the markets from time to time, but hey, what did we learn from it? There has to be something that was learned from it. Has to be. So if we were to write right now something we learned from this month going forward, and somebody needed to read that, or you needed to write that down for the older version yourself, what would it be? I'm gonna give y'all some time. I'm gonna give y'all like 3 minutes to think about that and be like, man, if I had to leave myself one message looking back um this year, next year, around this time, what would it be? What would it be? And I'm not gonna lie, I'm about to go in my notes right now, see what was Hans writing or going through last year. Mhm. Okay, good. I see you, Shorty. Uh June 2023. Okay. What are we doing? November 2023. What were we going through? Okay, okay. All right. So around October, November 2023, I wrote this. Moment of transparency. I was expecting this buy, but my mindset wasn't prepared to swing. All because I failed to have a scaling plan. Instead, I should have opened small lots and gradually add positions throughout these days. Lesson learned. I know I was hurt, boy. I know not right this right here. So I bet. Small lots and larger breathing room. I also should plan to hold from next 25 to 40 days for the next supply zone. Less is more. Interesting. No more training wheels. You can't have a fear of losing sleep or wasting your time or being wrong. I don't live a normal life. Embrace it. Interesting. Let's move on. Let's keep moving on. Let's keep moving on. Who was I in November of 2024? I know I was traveling, that's for sure. Around here, okay. Friday to Tuesday strategy strikes again. I must have missed this setup. Next time, place a decent 3 to 5 lot and let it slide until Friday, 8 a.m. Gold at 700. I'm definitely, this should have said gold. Whoa, gold move. Okay. So as you guys can see, I've definitely left lessons along the way for me to see if I've gotten better or if it's still something that I'm working on or if it's something that I can like nod to. I'm like, wow, okay. I I guess times have not changed, or sometimes you're like, you know what? Wow, I've grown from that. So if you're going through some losses like losing seasons and you want to keep going, make sure you write these things. So obviously I said, what would you guys tell yourselves um to keep going from your performance this month? I've not seen anybody really write anything. So hopefully y'all wrote it in your own personal journal. Okay. Now, I also want y'all to know, like, just because I'm breaking down charts and I'm like telling y'all how the market is going to look, I don't always take those positions unless I feel comfortable. And I want y'all to know that. Secondly, I don't want y'all to think just because you're pulling up to the webinar that, okay, maybe what Hans will say will save the week for me. I want y'all to learn to get used to these markets and have your own discretion based on how we're moving. And the reason why I'm saying this is last Sunday, we was wondering if price was going to keep selling. But you know, we're fluid with our bias just in case things change. But here's a lesson that I've always learned is just because we went to sleep with a bias, we have to think about the conditions on what could change. For example, Friday's highs and lows in a new week matters because Sunday, market was selling. We finished the webinar by 10, 11, 12. We couldn't even break last Friday's lows. Last Friday's lows, meaning between the hours of London and New York of Friday, we couldn't break it. And on a higher time frame, we couldn't go further below. That's literally price bouncing off of 4-hour demand. And whenever price is respecting 4-hour demand and the previous week's price action, they can't even break through it or below it. That should already tell us we are in for buys. So Asia, London, price started pushing. Imagine we finish a webinar, but I'm waking up the next day at 7 in the morning. I did not know none of this happened. So come around Monday, let's say you start to want to take sales and it's not working. You got to remember, what did the last session do? What did the last session do? If price in New York now is just pulling back to retest London, oh, we're buyers. And we're coming from 4-hour structure that was respected. We're definitely going to buy for a longer period of time. And so once we understand that, it really is just down to what? It's down to entry. And what have I told you guys about the 10 a.m.s of gold? Y'all have been peeping that price does pick up volume by 10 in the morning, right? Everybody been peeping that, correct? 10 Eastern.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So what do? You get yourself ready to see what's going on. How is London? If price pulling back, so you can decide whether you want to get in or not. I'm not gonna lie. Monday I got in buys mad late. It was like 10:30, and I got in right here. Not because I'm a little worried about price coming back 200 pips to bounce, but because I'm like, well, we already respected London. We did a break and retest. Whatever position I'm in here should continue by 12, by 2 p.m. We're good. So I like to make decisions like these based off of the continuation and what price already did in the beginning, which helps me to wake up, figure out if I want to trade or not. Because sometimes I feel like some of the times y'all trading, and I'm not saying time as in like the time of the day. Some of the moments where you do decide should you take a trade or not is still something you're juggling to make a decision with. Am I is that accurate to a couple of you guys? Like, do you know when you want to trade or when you shouldn't trade? Do you guys know at this point?
Yes, I know. There's certain sessions where it's more volume. You
Okay,
gotta study. You gotta study where there's volume within the sessions.
I like that. So you're starting to know yourself very well as a
Um,
trader, which is important going into 2026. That's good, Mama Quells. Good. And everybody else, do you know when it's time to get into a trade or saying, you know what, I'm not feeling it? Have y'all gotten to that point? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Everybody else,
Yes.
what does that look like for you, bro?
Um, break and retest of higher time frame structures for me to get in, and not holding it if it hasn't come back in to show me that the retest is going to carry it further to go up, and it turns around on me. The change of character.
Okay. Okay. So what does that look like if you pull up and you don't see what you want to see? How do you determine that?
Where you're comparing it to the past, everything to the past, right? I mean, if you're trending up, higher highs, taking out higher lows, obviously, or depending upon what market that you're in
Okay.
and what area you're trading.
All right. Understood. Understood. Okay. Um, any new traders in here? Because that question was for people who actually been trading for like at least 3 to 4 years. Anybody been trading 2+ years here?
Uh, I'm still down like was it like 3 months or 6 months or about
Okay.
5?
But I've noticed you're trading like a 2-year-old trader. Because now you're saying, oh, I'm not feeling trading today. And I'm like, okay, okay. Oh, I don't see certain things. I'm not trading. I'm like, wow, Emmanuel, you're getting wise in this thing, man.
Like like you always say, sometimes you just have to take a step back and just read the room and see
Yeah.
what's going on. If that's something you can able to deal with and stuff. Even like some loss, sometimes it's something you have to accept that this is something I have to deal with. This way I can't go beyond that. Like I already blow up like I'm like two account now. You pretty much know that. And the first time I blew my account, like the first thing you told me like, welcome to trading. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but like I took my time, like try to read data and stuff, going back, way back and stuff, back testing. I think that pretty much helps me a lot sometimes in my trades and stuff. And I've seen that, like I said, like this November has been one of the since I started trading like a couple of months ago, has been like the best since try to take a step back. Sometimes some days I would just wake up like today I'm not trading. I don't feel like it. And for the past 2 weeks, I don't know, jinx it. You know, I won't I won't have any drawdown. Being consistent with my trading and stuff. Met my goal for the day. I'm done. And, I don't look at the charts and stuff. I just go my own thing and stuff. And we go for the next day. So yeah, some days I trade just like 2 days or 3 days, and met my goals. I'm done. But like not like before. Like before, like every trade I just want to get in. You know, even though I pretty much sometimes I'm like in the win. Sometimes you have to tell me, oh, bro, like you need to tap out. You're done for the day. So I think I'm getting there, working on it.
That's good. That's good. Can I ask y'all a question? So some of y'all said, you know, and I appreciate the transparency. You started out good, but you ended up messing up, or the market conditions kind of threw you off. What asset class was it? Was it NQ? Was it YM? Was it gold? Was it US 30? What was it? What pair or asset class was it? And what day was not your best day so far this month?
You know what, Hans? Can you elaborate on what happened? Because when that happened, I think I had just got out the markets because I was trading also Thanksgiving night, but I literally was in and out. So I think I was done before like 7 or 7:30, something like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what happened until everybody kept panicking on social media. So I was like, oh well, I thought the markets was fine.
Hmm. Okay. Last week, you know how I was telling you guys, I've been peeping. Um, Thanksgiving has like this notorious habit of just rallying. They love to rally, like right when we eating that turkey. And some things I just don't forget. And then I seen this, I'm like, damn, y'all rallied, huh? And then as I'm driving back home, I was around like I was in position here. All of a sudden, I get home and it's just glitching. Like it's just jumping back and forth, jumping back and forth. I'm like, bro, what is this? And I stood inside the office and I'm like, should I close? Should I get in? Should I add another position? Should I just close the loss? And the loss keeps going negative 2K, negative 3K, negative 6K, negative 5K, like seconds after seconds. And I'm like, oh man, yo, this is the last day of the week, last trading day. I really got in these positions early just so I could let it do its thing until the next day, almost end of the session for New York. I was basically trying to get in early so I could see price push all the way up here. And then they glitched so bad, I was like, bruh, something is up. So I started looking at, I pray one day I don't mess up and show y'all the wrong photo. That's my prayer. I'm looking for something though. This ain't working. Let me show you what it looked like. Anybody got caught up in that glitch? Turns out the CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Basically, they're one of the biggest market makers that pretty much are connected with all the little brokers. It's like Wall Street received the information first, and they tell you what the price feed for currencies and gold and everything is. So if that server has a problem, everybody is getting the wrong price feed. Everybody. And that's why I've been telling y'all, like, brokers basically pay for server price feeds just to get that information so they can create the environment for us to trade. And that goes for trading futures as well. So here I am, just literally, I'm walking into my closet, taking off my clothes. I just got there. And I'm sitting there like I'm not sitting, I'm literally standing there like, bruh, I don't know what to do. All I know is I gotta make a decision. You wake up the next day, found out, oh, this server had this issue, and it was a cooling issue. Like the server got so hot at the data center that they had to shut down probably like a whole row of servers that sends out the data to all of these internet software companies that deal with trading. This year has taught us that when one major company goes through something, all their clients go through it. And it's also revealed a few things too. Like, I was very shocked to know how much, what's that company? Cloudflare. Cloudflare has a huge list of clients. Why? Because hospitals was having the same problem when Cloudflare uh, went down. I think a week ago. a week ago or 2 weeks ago, Cloudflare was having a problem. What's Cloudflare? Cloudflare literally is the provider, the cloud system provider company that provides faster, more secure internet connection between device and device and the internet. So we was having email issues. And that's what I be telling y'all. Like when you seen prop firms have issues where they couldn't connect, it wasn't even them. Sometimes it's because the 5K or $7,000 a month that folks have to pay just to keep the business running, just for the server price fees that they have to pay. So you can see that when you're trading a certain asset class, when you go to TradingView, the prices match. So, and I'm trying to get y'all to understand this, because when you're looking at, let's say, XAU USD, notice there's multiple brokers that are giving you options on which chart to look at. But as you guys have grown to realize it, sometimes you go over here, you're like, okay, this one says 42.29. And then you go to another broker and it might say 42.30. And you're like, huh? Then you find out along with that, there are spread fees that get charged. And so the market makers and the middlemen, along with the brokers, sometimes they make money off of how much they quote you for the price, and they make money off of the spread. So when folks is getting filled on certain spreads, they get charged a commission. It's like the gas provider and the gas station. If they're selling gas for $2.95, but it's because for every gallon that gets sold, really the person that provided them for this gas, they probably sell it for $2.98. So every 3 cents, that's the spread, and the company makes money off the 3 cent spread per purchase. That's how the broker business and the market makers and the liquidity providers, they usually make business. So now when they're providing you with the price feeds that you see here, that we all see here on different platforms, whether it's futures and Forex and all of that, if the main servers that are doing this job for us has a problem, we all have a problem. And it's the same thing about the internet. If Cloudflare, where all their clients from U.S. federal government agencies like the Department of State and Library of Congress, down to the hospitals and the airports, they're all using the same systems, which is why it's like a motherboard, or, you know, a mother spaceship. If you knock out the mother spaceship, everybody got problems. That's what happened. And the glitch was pretty crazy. And I'm wondering if they're going to be paying back some of the people who lost their accounts, those who are trading with prop firms, right? So I looked at the market. I woke up by 7:30, by 8, I noticed that the glitch had stopped, but I wondered, should I keep trading? Should I just eat the loss? Or should I make my loss back? And I'm asking myself, is this revenge trading? Or I'm like, hold on, nah, this looks valid. I know it's Friday. I know it's like the day after Thanksgiving, but this looks valid. And I get in the trade by like 10:45. I saw this break and retest. My stop loss was below here. I held it by 145. I was 283 pips in profit. That's what happened. One-minute time frame was crazy. You could see, yeah, it was wild. It was glitching bad. It was glitching bad. I don't know where that video went, but I was going to show you what it looked like on my end. Anybody watch the little vlog that I dropped, by the way? I know Jaquel did.
Yes.
How y'all liked it?
Heartfelt.
Thank you. Had a little time. Okay. Appreciate y'all. So let's get to the nitty gritty. As you guys know, I was not really focused on US 30 last week, but can we talk about it? Okay. Number one, remember I put you guys onto the SDAO? Y'all remember this? For those of y'all who are hearing this for the first time, please pay attention because I'm gonna put y'all on game. Okay. The SDAO is a negative correlated, I would say, indicator for the New York Stock Exchange market. So every time, and I ain't come up with this by myself. Somebody put me on. Every time price reaches a 4 hour or 1 hour supply zone, those are usually the best areas where US 30 is actually going to reach the bottom and start buying. So this right here is a game changer for a lot of people who are looking for like an extra confluence. Notice how Friday, October 17th was the demand. And last Sunday, we were trying to figure out like, is US 30 done selling or what? By Sunday, price was here. We ain't want to mess with it, but Monday, price did look kind of weird. I didn't trade US 30 to even pay attention to it. But if we go back to the SDAO, you'll notice October 17th was right here. That was the last peak at the supply zone. And when they came back to retest it right there on Friday, November 21st, followed by November 24th, Monday, they respected that supply zone. And usually these are really good zones for entry and confirmations for the market to continue buying. That those be like some solid demand zones when you go back looking at US 30. Crazy stuff, crazy stuff. And some of the institutional traders and the OGs from like 20 years ago, all they do is use the SDAO, the VIX, the volatility index, and then that's when they buy more shares. All right. So when you looking at the VIX on the 4 hour time frame, you see how it also said Friday, October 17th, and then they came here and retested it a few times. Next thing you know, Monday, they out of here. They out of here on the opposite end. Did anybody know about this? Or am I putting you on? Y'all cold tonight.
I didn't.
Did that just open your eyes a little bit? Do you see opportunity for 2026 with just this little information I just gave you?
Yes, sir. That's a head and shoulders, isn't it? Reverse.
We focusing on retest right now, but you right. Left shoulder, right shoulder. Of course, it looks good in hindsight, right? Head. But what we're really focusing on is the retest and the correlation with the SDAO. I know nobody put y'all on game about this one. I know I'm not speaking with excitement just so I could get y'all going crazy, but please, I just gave y'all 7 figures worth of game. Now, going up.
Sir Hans, can you repeat that if you don't mind? I'm sorry to ask you this.
I'm glad I caught your attention, Mr. Natsish. So, listen to me, guys. Is everybody paying attention? Yes. I want to see that on the chat.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm about to do the marketing guide, the marketing guru guide.
Yes.
Put some fire in the chat, man. I'm going to put you all on game. Oh, my God. Like, this is going to make you 7 figure. You're going to be rich forever. Oh, my God. Yes. There you go. Y'all love that. Be so loud, like, yo, are you ready to change your life and generational curses? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my God, he's speaking to me. I just had a prayer the other day. It's like he knows me, you know. Whole time, big cap. All right. So the SDAO, go look it up on your trading view right now. The SDAO is something I've been pretty much getting to know a little bit for the last few months because somebody put me onto it. And he's like, yeah, bro. I literally just wait for the supply zones on the SDAO to get tapped. Sometimes even on Friday, I'm just entering my moderate positions and I'm putting my stop loss above. Well, he's not putting his stop loss above, he's putting his stop loss below those structures on US 30. And he will literally hold for like the whole week. Hmm. Yeah, it's good. Hmm. Okay. Some what is it called? CMOS. Yeah, some homemade CMOS. You're doing good. All right. So they will basically the SDAO is a negatively correlated indicator where you can really use that to your advantage. Just mark out the supply zones. That's all my BTC. I seen it the first time. What's going on? 87? Man, don't worry about none
BTC
of that.
fell very badly throughout this weekend.
Okay, good. What y'all finna do?
Wait for it to reach our zones and then get in.
That's it. As an investor, what do you do?
Wait for the retest. But bro, you don't think it's gonna go down even more, like, during Christmas and the New Year, stuff like that?
Nowadays, I just answer these questions with time because we got the daily at 81. If we touch 76, we touch 70, these are all opportunities. You know, they're just opportunities. Now, if it just keeps going even more, I would say that I would say this. If you're an investor right now and you're just starting to cost average, nope, not selling CMOS. Wifey literally just bought the ones from what's his name?
Dr. Sebi.
Dr. Sibi, yeah. His son's business. And now she's actually successfully done it before. She's like let it soak and she's doing it from home just so we can have so he can, so she could keep us in tip top shape. So she just made me taste a little bit of what she's doing on right. She's creating right now. But yeah, here's what I learned. We may have our doubts, but as an investor, if we see Bitcoin is just dumping, we reduce how frequently we cost average. We might do it once a month, just letting it pull back once a month. But levels that you have been anticipating, you double down on the cost averaging, the cheaper it gets because you're here for the next couple of years. Sometimes it might even pull all the way back to 60. Perfect. We needed that anyway. Boom, we get in, we're buying some more. That's why it's easy to just buy $50, $50, $50, $25, $50. It's nothing you're going to really cry about. But it keeps adding up. You get me? So, and if you lose, oh, it's not nothing that we're going to be sad about, especially now. I mean, we've been through so much as traders. I don't know. I've lost the feeling of certain amounts of money when you lose it. It's cool. It was worth a shot, like if we add how many times many of us or many of you guys here had paid for a prop firm account, you probably in the 50Ks and the 20Ks. Careful. It turns into a crazy habit. But when it comes to crypto right now, the cheaper the better. The cheaper the better. Cheaper the better. And then let's see what happens in the next quarter. Let's see what happens in the next 6 months. Like that's how I'm seeing it these days, you know. Let's see what happens. And every time it keeps getting cheaper, I'm like, all right, we gotta make a decision, bro. You gotta make a decision. A decision that we can afford to lose. All right. So done with that. Done with that. Make sense, guys? Make sense?
Yeah, it
Yes,
makes
sir.
sense, bro.
All right. Even if we have like a weird quarter 1 in 2026 where like Solana is pulling back, I'm telling you, it won't stay like that. And the 4 year cycle that we used to have back then, I think is gonna be a little different. I think it's gonna be a little different because these companies are now being more vocal about what they want to do. Do they want to liquidate first? Yeah, sure. It's not gonna be pretty. But if you're in here for the long term of it, just cost average and forget about it. Cost average and forget about it. Chump change that you can afford to lose. This is how you do it. Because we all remember in November 2021 when Solana was at 254, made it here, pulled back, kept dipping, and then we forgot about it. But nobody wanted to buy it where it was cheap. I know I didn't even. I'm like $14 here. This joint dead. But come around, if I was like, I believe in it, I'm just gonna keep investing in it. When it was at 19, I would see it as an opportunity and not something that's dead. But also, I wasn't hearing from interviews of people who are like treasury uh CEOs talking about, yeah, they have a strategy for the next 5 to 10 years is just keep buying Solana and Ethereum. I'm like, oh, what? Okay. Hmm. Oh, so you have money that you're raising, and every so now and again, you're going to just keep buying into it for the next 5, 10, 15 years. And they're having conversations like 401k retirement, that's structured off of blockchain fluctuations and stuff. I'm like, okay, there's a lot of different new things that would urge me to reconsider about being a long-term investor with crypto. And if I really want to be straight up with y'all, the future and the weirdness of it is going to have crypto and it's going to be tokenized. And I still don't know how to feel about it, but I'm not going to sit here and not invest at this point, you know? I have a couple friends of mine like that had their 7-figure exit and all they did was keep believing and keep buying into it into certain cryptos for the past 5 years. And I'm here, the vocal trader online, and these guys are quietly just building wealth. And I'm like, shit, I need to sometimes forget that I have a platform, but also just be one of those guys who are just putting money and parking it in and cryptos too. Cause some of those guys aren't even great traders. They were just believing in something and constantly just putting 50, 75, 100, 150, 500, 200 every single time for 5 years, and it added up. And when that thing went ballistic, they had a 7-figure exit, and now they bought 2 houses in my hometown. And I'm like, oh wow, So I don't make the same mistakes twice. I don't. I either learn from it, take notes, feel low, some type of way about the fact that like, why didn't I notice? Why didn't I figure this out? And I'm like, okay, Hans, ha ha ha, Mr. Know It All. You don't know it all, bro. You're supposed to know some things by missing out on some things. And then you got to ask yourself, so what are we finna do with that information now that we know better? We're going to do better. Okay, let's take action. And then that's it. That's kind of how I think. So hopefully I can pass that on to you guys. All right. Did that make sense? Like, I want y'all to know we're getting older. We were kids when we started this whole trading thing for different reasons, and we got sucked into the MLM space, and we were all hyped. But now we're like a lot older, and now it's really about quietly doing what we gotta do for the sake of our future, without the hype, without the hype, without the hype. Okay. The other day, I was wondering about Swaggy, and then 2 days later, he announces that, oh, he's retiring from doing the teaching. And how many times have I told y'all I'm thinking about retiring from teaching? It's been what, 2 years now? So we won't always have certain people just to keep teaching, but it's the lessons that are left behind that really is going to matter. Like, at some point, I'm not going to keep doing this every week. I just want to just build these habits so I can keep going. All right. Now, and one of the things why I've not stopped teaching is because I want to believe in y'all so much. I feel like it's still unfinished business. I've not been satisfied enough out of what my students have produced, or some students that have not produced yet. You know, I want to be proud to say, you know, I had more students that made 6 figures off what I'm teaching. Where y'all at? You know, like I want to say that this person had 10K payout. This person had 20K overall this year. This person made 6 figures. Man, I have some 7 figures, but if we can't even keep an account for too long, we can't even have conversations about, hey, how do you feel about getting business funding to really go the long haul with having a personal trading account where you're just making decent gains? Nah, you'd be scared because you're like, man, I know I'm I blow accounts like a bad habit, Hans. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. We can't even go that route. And furthermore, I'm glad I remember this because I was thinking this quote in my head. How can you pass on a skill that you haven't even mastered yet? That's the scary part. If this shit not working for you, you hopefully your kid is like carrying it forward, but it's got to work out for you somehow for you to even feel comfortable passing it along, right? So take this a little more seriously, the mistakes and the bad habits that you're still dealing with. I hope that hit somebody deeply. I had a full circle moment 3 days ago. Wifey walked in the office and she saw the screen. I don't usually like it when she's coming into the office and she's seeing the trades that's in profit. Because I want trading to literally be, I walked in the office, I went out, I got out. It was a regular day. I don't want you to see the ebb and flow, just so you don't get too excited or you don't get worried neither. That's kind of how I keep things in my household. But this time she walked in and I was floating like 5K. And I looked at her and she looked at the screen. She smiled. I smiled. We didn't talk about it. And I was thinking to myself, damn, one day I'll probably have a daughter that's walking into my office and I put her on my lap and she'll be like, Daddy, what's that? And I'm like, hey, babe, this is blah, 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 blah. And this is how daddy made $5,000. You made $5,000? Yes, yes, I did, baby. And I'm going to teach you when you get older. You can't have that conversation if you're unprofitable. Because what you going to teach? Bad habits? Which they probably picking up too, because that's your DNA. So I was thinking, damn, must be nice. Like my boy Antoine said, must be nice to walk into your husband's office and he's floating $5,000 and like you've seen him make certain profits and you've seen the beginning phases of his journey to you having that as your reality where like you're walking in the person's office and his normal day, he's trading and it's working out. He's paying the bills. And it's a skill that she can confidently say that I would very much like for him to teach our kids this skill one day. So take that skill seriously, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. That full circle moment meant everything to me. I don't have to post nothing online. That is validation for me. When I showed my mother-in-law I made 40 grand in a day, her jaw dropped while she was at work. And she said, "This is why I didn't stop believing in you, son." When I showed my mom 2 days after my surgery that I made 10K while my neck was still in a neck brace, she cried because she realizes her prayers was worth something. Because had I died on that operating table, one of her sons who's capable of bringing wealth into the family, that would have been a great loss. That would have been a great loss. And believe me, there were days none of my family thought this was a good idea to keep pushing this whole trading thing. Like, son, it's time you go get your master's. When are you gonna go back to physical therapy school? Let's start applying. I'm like, I lost love for it, Dad. So, hey, listen, you about to get married, man. And you can't rely on something that's like shifty. I've had to have these conversations and still tell them, yeah, but I still believe in the journey, Dad. So, okay, well, I believe in you. And that was the last conversation. Now I'm paying this man's bills. You get me? So there's a reason why I show up every week. It's not really for y'all. It's because I had to become disciplined in doing things weekly, but I also believe in you guys. I want to hear those type of conversations being had. And I didn't give up on you. So trust and believe how happy I be feeling when Jaquel texts me, "What's up, coach? Yo, payout coming." Woo! I'm like, let's go, because I know it's certain conversations that are different now around the crib. When Antoine hits me up, "Yo, bro, I'm slowing down, blah, 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 but man, we had a good training week." Or we might not even talk about it. I might just in passing see the story. I'm like, I'm smiling. When I see Natish telling me I'm leaving the car, I'm walking into the barbershop, he says, "Hey, you got a minute?" He texts me. I'm like, let me get back in the car real quick. Let me call him. "Yo, I got a payout pending." I'm like, let's go. Because I got lucky with y'all. I don't have degenerates and 24, 22-year-olds on my calls. I have fathers, uncles, moms, people that are like twice my age that really could be my aunties. I respect y'all enough to give you game that I know is going to change around conversations. When I was when I was going through that surgery, you know why I was so at peace? Because I know I achieved something I really wanted to in life, which was mastering the skill. So if I died, I know somewhere in my DNA, in my aura and energy, it will get passed on somehow. Because I know, like, I'm still not battling whether the question of if I'm profitable is something I still don't know the answer to. I knew within my heart, I've been working hard. I have not been half-assing this shit. So if I were to die today, I'd die with no regrets, bro. None. I've been operating out of love and abundance. I don't live my life with regrets anymore. Even if I lost some trades, even if I lost some money, I know that this skill can help make it back. Okay. So y'all, I hope this wasn't even supposed to be a conversation today, but I'm glad we're having it. I'm glad we're having it. Glad we're having it. All right. Think I want to take a 2-minute break. I'll be back. Oh, I needed a moment. All right. Let's get back to the conversation of the SDAO. Everybody on this call, I want y'all to add this to your trading view. It's going to be called Pro Shares Ultra Pro Short DAO. But in short, just look up SDAO. The one from New York Stock Exchange. Let me know if you guys find it and you've added it to your watch list. No problem, Monique. Okay, everybody put it on their trading view. All right, but
Yeah, I'm working on it.
look up SDAO, Alice. SDAO. Okay. I'm also letting you guys know a lot of these things because sometimes I might not catch it. I need more eyes. Sometimes that'd be paying attention to gold. Last week, I looked at the market on Monday. I didn't even peep. We retested this thing from Friday. And then when I woke up, I had two choices, trade gold or trade US 30. And the way this was looking, I didn't like it. So I went and traded gold. Then price consolidated. And then when I came on the charts, this is what it looked like. I didn't like it. So I said, hey, I'm focusing on gold for the week. But part of the reason why is I didn't even figure out a trading plan to know like, hey, will I put in a moderate to conservative position and my stop loss below this low? I couldn't even tell you if I wanted to put my stop loss under this wick because it just looked ugly. So Monday and Tuesday was already a dub. And by the time we're on Wednesday, this push was cool, but it was too quick for most people unless you scalped it. And even then on Wednesday, this push lost volume, then it continued. So I can imagine many of you guys took some losses if you're trading a pair like YM or NQ because it wasn't the smoothest. It only benefited those who got in early for a swing and just let the swing run. So I know Alice just pulled up. The SDAO is basically the opposite correlation of US 30. So how it will help you is when you want to mark out the higher time frame supply zones, and when they come back to reach them, pay attention. You might want to start putting in conservative swing positions, or you know that this might be the beginning of a potential reversal buy on US 30. Okay? This is going to help you to make decisive be very decisive on the charts. This is going to help you to make some good money. It's going to confirm things for you. And if you want, you can also add the VIX. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. When the volatility index goes high, they'll have to reach an area of supply and then reverse. And the volatility index has direct correlation with the stock market. Warren Buffett literally uses the volatility index to buy millions of shares. He'll just wait for the volatility to go above 15 20. And if it goes even higher than that, trust and believe, big time investors are putting a lot of money when the volatility index goes high and reaches old supply zones. That just means a lot of money is going to come back into the markets. That's how they trade. That's how investors and big funds trade. They use systems like these: volatility index, SDAO, because all they need is for price to get in at a beautiful discount, and then they're buying hundreds and millions of shares. So they're not really worried about sniper entry, but this definitely could help you with your strategy. Do you guys see how this could help your strategy? Yes or no?
Yeah.
This is confirmation. This
To
is
know
going to
the
help you with
direction.
confirmation. Yes, and direction. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Less is more too. Maybe sometimes you like, I'm not feeling US 30. Let's just wait till it finds a better area of supply on the SDAO, because then we'll know it'll give us what it needs. Last week I was like, yo, what are we doing? Are we selling? Are we buying? But this would have confirmed it a lot more. I would have known, you know what? I'm not gonna go with an aggressive lot size or position size, but I know they bounce off the 4-hour demand on the SDAO, the supply on the SDAO. I'm gonna go in for swings, and I'll just hold it until the end of the week or something like that. You know, that's how it will come in handy for you. That's how it come in handy for you. For example, this week, like right now, the structure is very weak. We can tell there's not much volume in the candle sizes, but that doesn't mean price won't keep buying. There's still a lot of liquidity here, a lot of volume that can fill. So in a new week, you know, I'm always going to look at Thursday and Friday, which barely had anything. Remember, because the whole CME trading halt didn't give these brokers, or most of us retail traders and those platforms that we rely on, we couldn't even get the right structure on the candle. So that's why it's going to be interesting what New York session is looking like. It's going to be interesting what New York session is looking like, but as we can tell, this is still a bullish structure. We have price has the demand, break its structure, we're retracing. This is still buying opportunity. Should we get in now? Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. If you're, you know, a swing trader, you definitely get in these type of positions and then stop loss below last week's lows. That's how you can make a decision like that. The only thing you have to worry about is if price comes down to take you out, but that doesn't mean they might not repurchase the buys. Okay, so this was Friday. We got Friday marked. And then price is pulling back in here. So even if in New York they retest the zone, breaking retest, we know that this is the confirmation we might need. Some of us need to see that before we take a trade, and that's fine. So we're definitely going to be paying attention to how price develops from here. Now, I know somebody's like, what about the SDAO? Let's go check the SDAO. Now, for example, I don't like to mark the 5-minute time frame on the SDAO, only the 1 hour, 4 hour. 1 hour, 4 hour. Okay, so let's say price comes up to 34 here because it's connected. You can tell there was price action here. Broke. If we were to see price come up here like this, for example, we would know it would give the market more strength to keep going to the upside on US 30. you know? So that's how we're going to use the SDAO moving forward. Okay. Just keep an eye on it. Can help. Let's take a look at NAS or NQ. Such a V-shaped recovery on these markets. Look at that. Just boom. So what Nas? Did anybody trade NQ last week? Tuesday. Okay. All right. Nobody traded NQ last week. All right. Let me move on. All right. So it's the same chart. Everything pretty much looks like they're retesting last week lows. And so by New York, we're going to see whether the market gives us more structure to buy. Do we have any fundamental news? Let's check and see. And then after that, I'm going to let you guys go. Yo, are we still in the government shutdown?
No,
No,
not
they
really.
they opened
They
it
found
back.
they found a temporary resolution.
Right. Until January. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So I'm wondering if we're actually, yeah, well, last week we did get uh what's it called? Unemployment claims. We did get it on time. So hey, maybe we do have NFP week. So be mindful of that. Unemployment claims came out. Numbers look good, supposedly. Um, they said it's a lot less people who are unemployed than we were anticipating. I don't know if that's true or not, but the next release is on the 4th, a few days from now. We'll see. All I know is this though. Tomorrow, Monday, we have some news at 10 a.m. for the US dollar. And for supply. Okay, that's the Great Britain pound. What else? What else? What else? Yep. We have unemployment claims this Thursday. And then on Friday, does anybody see? Yo, where's non-farm payroll for it'd be okay? I don't see it. Remember, we said that there was no non-farm payroll on the charts today on Sunday, this November 30th. So if it pops up out of nowhere this week, remember we didn't see it. We was not tripping. Anywho, there's an unemployment rate for Canada. Canada. That joint do look like Canada. I don't know. Anyways,
Usually,
for,
wouldn't the NFP will come out around 8:30 around that first Friday of the month?
yeah. Well, that's the Force Factory not saying it, so it's either they got to update it. I don't know. And I'm not
They
seeing it.
monkeying around with it.
I'm telling you, I don't see it. Do y'all see it? Because I don't see it.
Nah, it ain't there.
It's not there. So we got the JOLTS job report the next Tuesday, the 9th. And then on the 10th, we have FOMC. And from time to time, I'm seeing They're saying, oh, 85% chance of cut rates. Canada. Canada. Yeah, I'm not too far off, but something's slowing down. Oh, Jesus. Aye, aye, aye. Basically, there's a high chance that we're still gonna get interest rates cut. I don't know why, but I think politically it's starting to look like um these guys are just to appease the issues, they're just going to cut rates. But if they keep rates unchanged, I wouldn't be surprised neither. But either way, the show continues. We've noticed that every time the market does find 4 hour demand for US 30, even though sometimes we have our doubts, they somehow still end up buying. And they're buying from each other. They're borrowing from each other, these big companies. Uh, all we have to do as traders is find good opportunities. That's it. Find good opportunities. If you don't understand it, you learn from it, and we keep moving. All right. So definitely, I'm going to look forward to seeing what the week has to offer, but I'm not going to push it as hard for December because I'm already way ahead of my goals. Now, as far as you guys, and as far as gold, I do anticipate price to probably get to 4,300 or above. We'll just have to see. All I know is y'all know on Sundays and Mondays, the market does like to rally, and then you get to find out how far 12 hours from now. So, will I get into some positions with gold tonight? Yeah, probably. Probably. I'll let y'all know if I do and when I do. Because I feel like there's more. Y'all know I still use investing.com. I like to just see what the price is saying. And then I'm like, oh, okay, there's more potential. Bet. And I'll basically just get in conservatively and then see where we at by 8 in the morning the next day. We all know Friday's lows was. Can y'all still hear me? Am I lagging? Because it's starting to slow down over here. Man, the internet been ghetto lately. Close down some more. Close down some more. Close down some more. All right. Let's do a quick recap, then we'll be done. US 30, bullish. YM, bullish. Gold bullish. This was Friday's low here. So far, this is the Asian floor. Entries around these prices right here. Stop loss 42.15 so far seems to be a very good area for stop loss. Okay. For those of you guys who plan on trading tonight until tomorrow, who knows? We might wake up and see this thing is like at 42.70, for example, or more. That's why I usually check in here just to see like what are the futures prices saying here. Doesn't always usually do it in like 24 hours or such, but you just never know. As long as the structure looks good, using different metrics just to be able to see the potential outlook for price. On a 4 hour time frame, I'm almost done. Come on, internet, keep up with me. Yeah. I have swing ideas, but when I see profit, I close them. I close them. Um, yeah. Anyways, is this? Anyways, I am still bullish on gold. I think we could touch 43.20, 42.50 easily. This is still bullish. We can all see it. And if we're entering between now and 9 p.m., definitely put your stop loss below 42.15. All right. The last time we saw price get close to 43.70, they made a structure and retested the 4 hour highs. They couldn't break it. So if I was a betting man, which I am, I'm definitely seeing price reaching above 4,400 by the end of this week. I think so. But that doesn't mean if you see opportunities to close your positions, do what is best. Don't stay in something that you feel like you have doubts about. Secure profits always, even if you have a swing trading grand idea out of the potentials for what's going on. Okay. I'm about to get in some buys for gold now, actually. Decent lot sizes, not doing too much. I'm going to put my stop loss right below 42.15. All right. If price pulls back, I'm going to add another position and I'm just going to let it slide and see where we at by tomorrow morning. Okay, so I'm definitely eyeing 42.70 as I told you. I think that's very decent for US 30, but I'm sure like if price still has some more potential for New York, they'll probably just retest London and I'll add a position there too. So those are the two um, times I'll consider adding positions between now, a retracement, or New York retesting whatever area price is at by like 6, 7 a.m. The same way that they did it last week and the weeks prior. Okay, so just a little. See how like by 9:50, 10 a.m. price pulled back into 7 6 a.m. price action. But on Sunday, price was oh yeah, price was like here by 1 in the morning, da 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 da. And they push. By 9, they just retested, mid range of London, and then they kept going. So hopefully this is what's going on. I would love to see price keep pushing for gold. But I'm not no idiot neither. I'm not about to just like do too much, and that's what you should do as well. Don't do too much. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Anybody trade GU and such? Because I will tell you, it's the same thing for GU and EU. 4 hour structure got retested last week. I did see this, but I wasn't really interested. It just looked very sloppy. But 4 hour structure is 4 hour structure because price bounced off of it. Friday was having a hard time. Sunday, it finally picked up by Tuesday. I don't like, well, yeah, Tuesday Asia. Sometimes some pairs, man, they have such a struggle to move. But if you're swing trading it, you won't really be having much of an issue because when it comes to 4 hour structure like this, you just gotta be in it. Give it 24 to 48 to 72 hours. Just be in it. Give it 2 to 3 days, and we'll see where price moves from there. Once you have a good stop loss below the 4 hour structure, let it slide. Like just give it time to do something. Personally, you might not catch me in some trades, but that doesn't mean I didn't see the potential because it's the same rule. 4 hour got tapped, took a few days. It was kind of weird, but it's not a problem by Wednesday, is it? No. So think about these things with that sort of perspective. It'll help you out a lot. Okay. All right. Did I check all the boxes for tonight?
Yes, sir.
Is is there a question you've been meaning to ask because you had an experience last week or last month that you're struggling with, that's you're holding together? If you feel like you can't say it in public, shoot me a text because I know some of you guys are quietly wanting to be better traders, but don't know where to start, don't know which conversation to have, or there's something you've been repeating over and over, and you just want somebody else's opinion on how to break out of that habit. If that is you, reach out to me. We're going to talk about it. I just want to see you do better. All right. Cool. Cool.